All right, to find the x-intercepts, you let y equal 0. So I get this equation. And this did not factor. So I used a quadratic formula. So, a lot of times I would get rid of that negative 0.05 first. But for some reason, I'm not going to. I guess because it's just already so nasty, it doesn't really matter. So the quadratic formula is negative b, so it's going to be negative 2 plus or minus the square root of b squared, and b is negative 2, so that's going to be 4. B squared minus 4 times a times c, all over 2 times negative 0.05. And if I clean that up a bit, that gives me 2 plus or minus the square root of 3.4 over a negative 0.1, excuse me. And that's going to give me two values. One's going to be negative 38, use your calculator, 0.4. And the other one's going to give you a negative 1.56. So those are your x-intercepts. In your y-intercepts, you let x equal 0. So go back and let x equal 0 in your equation. And that's going to give you a 0.05, 0 squared minus 2 times 0 minus 3. So your y-intercept is negative 3. And your vertex is part b, and that's negative b over 2a. So that's going to be negative of a negative 2 over 2 times a, which is a negative 0.05. And that ends up giving you negative 20. So that's the x value of your vertex. Your y value would be h of negative 20. So that would be negative, I've lost my negative, hadn't I? I've been working it correctly, but I didn't have it up there. Plugging in a negative 20, so it's going to be negative 0.05, and then negative 20 squared minus 2 times a negative 20 minus 3, and that's going to give you a value of 17. So your vertex is negative 20, 17. And if you look at your original equation, h of x equals negative 0.05 x squared minus 2x minus 3. Your leading coefficient, your a, is negative. That means your parabola opens down. So that means you have a maximum. And then I'll quickly do them. We know our vertex is negative 20, 17. So I'm just going to make that up and say it's over here, okay? And your parabola opens down. Just a rough graph, okay? And this order pair is negative 20, 17. Well, to figure out if it's increasing or decreasing, I draw tangent lines. And that tangent line has got a slope that's positive. That means it's increasing. Over here, your tangent line is negative. That means it's decreasing. You could also say, if you look at this piece over here, as x increases, your y is increasing, which also means it's increasing. So it's increasing in the interval notation from negative infinity up to that x value, which is negative 20. And that's not the end point. That point's not included. And then, I've lost my pencil. Let me see. Well, it's going to be decreasing from negative 20, comma, infinity, with parentheses on both sides.